The funding for this video is provided by the amazing members of my Patreon. Also contributions from viewers like you. Thank you. Yeah, I started from PBS Kids. What you gonna do? Fight me? Anyway, roll the video. So I already know that I am going to get jumped for my opinion on this, and that being that I enjoyed the Little Mermaid live action remake than the original Little Mermaid film that came out in 1989. And you know what? I'm gonna stand on that point because I most definitely enjoyed this film a lot more than that version, and nobody can change my opinion. Bye. Hey y'all, it's Ariana and I'm back with another video. Hi, hello, how are you doing? My name is Ariana and welcome back to the pirate ship, also known as Harry Hook's pirate ship. I am the captain, you are not my first mate, and I've gotten a first mate because you want to know why. Bring your ear closer to the speaker so you can hear me clearly. Nobody's worthy of being the first mate, but hi, hello, how are you doing? My name is Ariana and I like to make content based on nostalgia and family and children's entertainment and all the issues that I find within those spaces. On today's episode of Disney-cember, and if you don't know what Disney-cember is, it is basically a series I do every December on my channel where I spend the entire month just critiquing and talking about Disney media and anything related to that company. Yes, I got the inspiration from Doug Walker. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I did it, and no, I'm not fucking copying him, because you want to know why? My Disney-cember is completely different than his. So yeah. On today's episode of Disney-cember, I really want to get on here and talk about the Little Mermaid. Part of the reason why I did not make a video about the Little Mermaid over the summer is because I really kind of wanted the hype to die down a little bit, because I just emotionally wasn't in the mood to deal with the comment section trying to tell me I'm wrong for feeling the way that I do about this movie. Because I have already expressed my frustrations with the last Little Mermaid, that being the original one, and I'm gonna be honest, I really felt like I could have worded my opinion much better in that, and I realized the main reason I had such a big problem with the original Little Mermaid is because it was too short. That movie's like 80 minutes long, and knowing the kind of story that the Little Mermaid wanted to get across, it was more so about a girl who wants to, you know, she's not saying that she wants to be human, but she wants to know more about the human world. Because of how short that movie was, so much of it was just written off as her simply wanting to go to the human world for a guy. That's why the movie frustrated me so bad, because it did not necessarily give us enough time to spend with Ariel for us to get to know her. Everything was just a little bit too fast paced for me, and I was just like, no, it's just not hitting. It's not hitting for me. It just fell completely flat. And you know what? I am entitled to my opinion on that. I think the writing for the original Little Mermaid, I don't personally think it was bad, but because of everything that the movie ended up getting condensed down to, the writing didn't do the film justice, because it just most definitely needed more time. Now, I know a lot of people were talking about how they were worried that the new Little Mermaid, you know, the one with Jonah and Halle, the one that a lot of people have just been making clickbaity ass videos on lately because they know it's just going to get a lot of views just shitting on the damn movie. I'm not gonna be doing that. I don't know if you guys can tell, but one of the major concerns that so many people had with the film is that the movie was going to be longer. It's like pretty much an extra hour, and I'd say it was like another hour of the movie, and a lot of people were confused. A lot of people were a little frustrated because, as we know, after Ariel, you know, goes to the human world and gets her legs, she doesn't fucking talk. And you know, Eric was pretty boring. Eric was pretty boring. A lot of the talking that went on in the real world scenes in the original Little Mermaid came from like Sebastian and Flounder, the fucking animals, or even the other humans that they were interacting with. For the most part, the Ariel and Eric scenes did not hit for me, and that is another big gripe that I had with the original film. It actually works a lot more here that the movie was longer, because people were talking about the time span of the new film, but I was like, no, it most definitely needs more time, because not only does the movie spend more time with Eric and Ariel, which I will get into later, but the entire opening of the movie, I'd say the first 30 minutes of it, we get to actually know who Ariel is. We get to understand her. We get to understand why she's sad. We get a better understanding of her frustrations with her father. We get a better understanding of why she wants to know more about the human world. And that's necessarily not about Eric. Ariel always had like a big interest when it comes to, you know, not wanting to be a damn fish. And I don't personally think that Ariel didn't want to be a fish. It's more so about her wanting to learn about people. She's not even a person, she's a fucking mermaid. You get what I'm saying. But she wanted to learn about individuals that were different from her. She wanted to learn about different cultures and stuff. She wanted to learn more about the foods they ate, the clothes they wore. You know, she wanted to explore. While that aspect was there in the original film, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Prince Eric gotta be one of the most boring princes here in Disney history. Disney, in my opinion, has a major flaw when it comes to writing their prince characters. And I feel that the way they edited his character in the remake has gone to show you that they even knew back then that there was a problem with his character. A lot of Disney princesses are just dull as hell, because I remember growing up and I would be talking to my friends and we were talking about who our favorite Disney prince is, not our favorite Disney princess. We were talking about our favorite Disney prince, and a lot of them said Eric, and I was like, why? He boring. Like, what is there about him? They actually gave Eric a fucking personality, and I appreciated that so much, because you want to know why I appreciated them giving him a personality? One of my biggest gripes with the original Little Mermaid film is that I felt like Ariel and Eric weren't compatible with each other. Their scenes were boring as shit. There was no fucking chemistry. I didn't care about either of them in Kiss the Girl because it just wasn't hitting for me. They didn't look, I don't even want to sit here and say they didn't look interesting in each other, because it's animation. You can make them look any kind of way you want. But as being there and sitting there with this movie for probably at like the 45-50 minute mark of the film. I don't even think it's that much, but we are pretty much halfway, probably 3/4 through the film, and it still feels as if they're not clicking with each other. It doesn't even feel like they're connecting with one another. It's just like you have these two people who are told to be special to us. We can get a grasp that Ariel is special, but what the fuck is so fucking special about Eric? Somebody please tell me. Okay, hi, editing me here. This was a point that I forgot to bring up, but I really do want to include it in here. Part of the reason why Ariel and Eric, you know, getting married at the end of The Little Mermaid kind of frustrated me so bad is because it can be read that he was really only interested in her because of the way she looked. It was just like, oh, pretty person. Yeah, that's going to be my wife. But in the Little Mermaid remake, we actually get to see that there is much more than the way Ariel looked for why Eric liked her. And like I said, in the original Little Mermaid, we know that Eric and Ariel's love story, whatever, but it just did not give us enough time to truly see them be compatible. In this one, we spent way much more time with them. Because in the original, we just kind of like saw them walking around with each other. But here we actually got to see them do things with one another. Like they dead ass low-key went exploring with each other. They was reading books and looking at maps and shit together. It was actually really adorable. Because I wasn't getting it in the original one. But here we actually get to see Ariel and Eric bond. And guess what? It was my favorite part of the film. I was literally like fucking screaming because that was part of the reason why I was so nervous about watching the new Little Mermaid, because I was like, if y'all are not going to fix the major problem that the original film had, then y'all can keep this shit in the vault. And they did. And that shit right there is honestly what won me over with the movie. I love the costumes. I love the set. I really love that scene where they were just dancing with each other and whatnot. The movie was low-key black as hell too. That's another thing I really want to give my props to with this film. But it isn't necessarily about the relevance with blackness in this movie. It's just that the original film just had so many issues because we're supposed to care about this couple. We're supposed to root for them. But I had a difficult time rooting for them to be together other than the fact that I didn't want Ursula to hurt either of them. Here we actually got to see that they do share common interests. We actually get to see that Ariel and Eric are most definitely compatible with each other because they're both interested in adventure. They're both interested in exploring and learning about new things and shit like that. And it was actually very, very beautiful to see, and it was so fucking cute. Like, the original Little Mermaid is written off as like a romance movie, and I was like, romance where? Because it wasn't here. Romance where? But the new one, it most definitely was romance. That actually was romantic with what was going on with Ariel and Eric. And I also had to give my applause to Hallie and Jonah because, listen, I need the, Hollywood to start bringing back chemistry reads. I most definitely need y'all to bring them shits back because it is hurting your media. It most definitely is fucking hurting it. And I can tell that they did that chemistry read with Hallie and Jonah because everything was working so well with them in this movie. One thing about me is that I'm not gonna sit here and shit on something simply because that is the popular opinion. I already know a lot of people are gonna get mad at me for simply saying that I prefer this version over the original. And you know what? They're entitled to think that. That's their personal opinion. But I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I was all head over heels for the original movie because I wasn't. When I was a teenager, when I watched The Little Mermaid for the first fucking time, I loved the film. And mainly that's because I liked the movie more so for what it looked like and I liked the music and whatnot. But then when I rewatched that shit and I'd say 2021, I was rushed over with so much disappointment because I felt like nothing was hitting for me the way it did back then. Mind you, I watched that movie when I was a lot younger. I was like literally so young. Like, I watched that movie when I was younger, and like going back and looking back at it, I felt a little heartbroken, I'd say, because I didn't necessarily like the movie as much as an adult as I did back then. And I know we can sit here and say, but that movie is made for kids, yada yada yada, whatever. Disney makes fucking family entertainment, okay? And I really do feel like that movie being 80 minutes long was its biggest flaw. And I understand part of the reason why the movie was usually 80 minutes long because, we have this thing called attention spans. I get it. I understand that. And a lot of family entertainment movies back in the day, I'd say like in the 90s and the 80s, and I'd say even the 2000s, they were a lot shorter, mainly because they wanted to be able to hold everyone's attention for the whole time. But nowadays, I notice that a lot of animated films from Disney are becoming longer, but I notice a lot of family films in general, that being the live action ones, are longer too because they realize that them trying to condense it into this shorter time period was fucking up the story. But yeah, I didn't necessarily want to make this video too long because I'm pretty sure that if you are watching this, you have probably watched numerous other videos already about the damn Little Mermaid, and they probably have different opinions than mine, but I just wanted to add something fresh and new to this conversation because I am somebody that is very, very big on not wanting to be influenced by the popular opinion when it comes to media that I was excited for. The main reason I was super duper excited for The Little Mermaid has to do with the fact that I was a big fan of Chloe x Halle. I was a big fan of Chloe and Halle, the sisters. Hallie making me a little mad right now because we don't disrespect social workers, but this is not a drama channel. We're not here to talk about that shit. I do appreciate who she is as a creative. I think she's an amazing singer. I think she's a pretty good actor just as well. So that's the main reason why I was excited for this film. I was excited to see this story be brought to life. And while yes, I really do fucking think that Disney needs to start making more original stories, but also one of my big things about, remakes and reboots and shit like that. If you're going to remake something, you need to fix what didn't fucking work in the original one. That is the main reason why I enjoyed the Little Mermaid remake so much, because I was talking about this before on my channel saying like, what is a Disney movie or what is something that you feel like actually needs a remake because it needs work done to it? And I said The Black Cauldron. because I was like, that movie has so much fucking potential, but it wasn't all that great because the writing needed work. And I feel like if they went back and revised the script and then put it out for like a re-release or whatever, like, you know, actually fucking fix the story, it would be damn near a perfect cute little horror film. And I'm gonna sit here and bring up The Rescuers Down Under just as well, because if you've ever seen the first Rescuers, I'm gonna be honest, I fell asleep. I tried to watch the first Rescuers movie like 3 fucking times and I kept falling asleep. Like The Rescuers and Bambi. Bambi is another movie that I just kept falling asleep to. Never fucking finished it to this day. I can't tell you what happened in that movie. The Rescuers was a movie that was just pretty much dull. But when they redid the film and The Rescuers Down Under, which is the sequel to The Rescuers, it fixed almost all my fucking problems that I had with the original movie. And I was like, you know what? If we're going to be giving shit sequels, if we're going to be remaking things, why don't we just remake things that weren't that great to begin with? Or aspects in these things that needed work. And that's part of the reason why I enjoyed the live action Little Mermaid so much. The main reason why, like I said, it was Ariel and Eric's relationship, but also us getting to know Ariel, because I'm gonna go ahead and say it, in the original Little Mermaid, I didn't necessarily like Ariel's character all that much. I'm not even fucking joking, I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't necessarily like her character all that much, and that just has to do with the fact that I didn't understand her. But I understood her a lot more here in the live action one, because we actually got to know more about who she is overall. And I love the fact that we actually got to see her interact with her dad more. I love those short, small interactions that she had with her sister. I love to see that she got to spend more time with Flounder and Sebastian. I love the fact that we got to know more about who she was under the damn sea before she went to become a human and whatever. And I don't know, I love this movie so much. My ass was ugly crying after I finished it, because it had been a minute since I really truly enjoyed a movie like that. It's a nice, cute, inspirational, feel-good film. It literally is one of my top 10 watches of the year. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. I am going to post on my blog my favorite, like, you know, things that came from this year, and A Little Mermaid live action has to be one of those. And also, I associate Body Do by Chloe Bailey too much with this movie now. So every time I listen to Body Do, I think of The Little Mermaid. Oh, thank you all so much for watching this video. I was really actually very nervous to make this one, because I didn't want, first of all, I didn't want y'all, like my homies, my pirates, I didn't want y'all to sit here and think that I was gonna get on here and shout on this movie, because absolutely not. Like, no, I was not gonna sit here and do that. But also, I'm just like, I already know somebody gonna try to tell me that I'm wrong for feeling this way, but like, y'all know damn well Ariel and Eric ain't had no damn chemistry in the original movie. Go ahead and call a spade a spade. It's the fucking truth. It most definitely is the fucking truth. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And you guys keep seeing me look over here. It's because all my inventory for my shop is literally sitting next to me right now. Like, I literally have the Nanami bonnets right here. And also like the London Tipton bonnets that I didn't put in their baggies yet. It's a reversible. Look at that shit. Like, that's the outside, but then look at the inside. It's like pink, like London. Oh my gosh, super duper duper cute. Okay, but yeah, if you guys are interested in my shop or any of that shit, the link to that will be down below. I am going to, like, you know, be getting y'all orders sent out soon. I deeply do appreciate everybody that you know, shared my shop and bought something over this last Black Friday. I deeply did appreciate that. Yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. I post all my cosplay shit on Instagram. I post like my other business page and my blog and shit like that on my business Instagram too. Yeah, I'm just rambling at this point, mainly because I feel like the end of the video is where you just promote your shit. But yeah, if you guys were wondering how I felt about the 2023 Little Mermaid movie, just know that I loved it. I loved it, alright? It has to be one of my favorites that has come out this year. I adored it so much. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day, night, or whatever time of the day that you choose to watch this video. I'm just thankful that you watched it with the ads on. Alright, thank you, and goodbye.